Is the Golden Age Arc the best arc of all time? I don't know, because none of you have informed me just how massively daunting this quest would take me to read. People, we're talking over 10 volumes worth of material, so excuse me, princess, if I didn't get through all of it. Let's discuss and analyze what I actually read. We're introduced to Guts as an infant born from the corpse of his lynched mother underneath a hanging tree. Yep, it's going to be one of those depressing ass somber stories, so brace yourself. He then gets picked up by a mercenary group. I'm sure being raised by some of the sweetest people in the world will give him plenty of unconditional love and support. Spoilers, these mercenaries weren't the loving type. Gambino, the leader of this group, is physically and verbally abusive towards Guts. Guts, fully participating in his first war at the age of 9, risked his life just to impress Gambino. It's clear as day now why Guts fighting on the battlefield is a bit of catharsis for him. It could be viewed as releasing any pent-up frustration and anger for never being loved and supported by anyone, especially from Gambino. Furthermore, the way Guts clings onto his massive sword in the present makes much more sense when you witness him desperately latch onto it as a child, offering Guts a semblance of comfort and protection. Emotionally, I resonated the most through the nonverbal cues he expressed, clinging onto his motherly figured hand moments before dying, stumbling yet determined to pick up and master, winging a sword too big for his size, to even learning the climactic reveal that Gambino has resented Guts, displaying this look of distraught and sorrow on his face, eventually leading Guts to murdering Gambino, the closest thing to a father he has ever known. Let's break down Guts and Griffith's first interaction, their first battle, and their eventual lifelong relationship, studying the dichotomy of each. Guts at this point in the narrative is characterized and depicted as dark, moody, and an angered individual known for his mad dog fighting style. Compare this to Griffith's elegant, graceful, and calm demeanor, not to mention being a literal white knight in shining armor. Griffith defeats Guts in their first bout. The ominous look Griffith gives Guts following the famous "now you belong to me" line is the first glimpse into witnessing something off about this white knight. The Black Swordsman arc introduced us to the demonic and dark paths Griffith eventually gave into, but this introduction into his character, where most of the cast of characters who revere and worship him as this shining positive influence, just gets me all the more excited to see where the hell it goes wrong. Actually, scratch that last thought. This motherfucker possesses a behelit in a necklace form. So this egg of the king is said to grant one the world in exchange for the owner's flesh and blood. That phrasing alone already freaks me the hell out. The Count sacrificed his wife, so I'm going out on a limb here and predict Griffith will sacrifice his own merry men of hawks eventually. One of my favorite parts within all of Golden Age Arc are the chapters containing Nosferatu-san. Sorry, I gotta say it like that. This interaction introduces Guts into the supernatural presented within this universe. Zod's transformation, paralyzing even Guts at times, shows you this creature is something you should absolutely be frightened of. Although Zod freaks out the moment he notices the behelit around Griffith's neck. He flies off, but not without warning Guts the dangers associating oneself with the likes of Griffith. That definitely isn't ominous and foreshadowing anything, right fellas? Right? In any case, you would think after a demon, a literal demon, told you to stay away from Griffith, you would heed their warning, but no!
Well, excuse me, princess.
Guts had to do some dumb shit like murder people on behalf of Griffith. Although, I suppose from Guts' perspective, and I quote, "For now, I'll wield my sword for his sake," Guts really didn't have a purpose or goal in life to pursue until the infamous... There's a lot to unpack here, but firstly, how the hell did Guts hear Griffith from all the way down those flight of stairs? Also, how did Griffith not notice Guts? But DJ Miles, it was dark!
Well, excuse me again, princess.
Do you know how tall Guts is? Let's see, Google search how tall is Guts. The man is 6'8". Griffith converses with Charlotte, a princess he's courting, about pursuing a dream. In short, he believes that all men should have a dream they want to accomplish, and he can't abide by anyone who carries on about life in pursuit without one. Charlotte wonders if this was the reason why his friends, the people in his army, are so drawn to Griffith, with which he replies, and I'm going to paraphrase here, "Well, they're great, but they really aren't my friends. A real friend is someone who would never depend or work for somebody else's dreams. They would passionately pursue their own, even if it meant trampling onto somebody else's, including mine. Wink, wink." Honestly, an entire analysis can be made alone just dissecting this speech. A man without a dream is one without ambition, and a life without ambition is one not worth living. How can you hear those words and not analyze your outlook on life soon after? Obviously, Guts was ready to bounce on this journey of self-discovery. Prior to this moment, Guts certainly viewed Griffith as a friend, so now, from Guts' perspective, to stand side by side next to Griffith on equal terms, what did you think he was going to do? This one act of self-discovery is not only profound to Guts, but impacted me in the way I'm sure many of you experienced reading it for the first time yourselves, which is why you should all subscribe to my channel and make my dreams come true, fellow Hawks. Huh? Still, I can't help but wonder if Guts was quite literally the only exception when he rambled on to Charlotte. It's been established that Griffith has always admired Guts from the first time he has set his eyes on him. From their first battle, astonished at Guts' tenacity to never give up. It was also why Casca got so annoyed and jealous of Guts when first joining the band of the Hawks, because Griffith valued Guts as a cut above the rest from the group. The hypocrisy of Griffith's speech, however, comes full circle when Guts and Griffith face off for the second time at the top of the snow peak. Much like dissecting Griffith's speech, this one gorgeous panel of Guts versus Griffith conveys plenty of detail. For starters, the sun beaming towards Guts' side may symbolize how much growth he has accumulated over the past 3 years from his time spent with Griffith and his comrades. He's learned how to befriend others, show compassion to a certain degree, and is intent on now finding a purpose. This is the man who has sharpened his resolve, with his sword being raised towards the sun, thematically speaking to me as a new beginning and journey for Guts' character. Griffith, on the other hand, sword facing downwards, may represent how much he has fallen or truthfully revealed himself as a character, despite how people within the story admired him from the lens that Griffith wants to be identified under. Contrasting to Guts' 3-year growth, Griffith has divulged tendencies of malicious intent, manipulation, and carrying selfish desires so astronomical that he's willing to do whatever is necessary to get what he wants. You would think after the speech he gave to Charlotte, he would understand Guts' reasoning to leave his army, yet his monologue analyzing how to defeat Guts proves quite the opposite, exposing that even if he may accidentally take down Guts, that option is more accepting to him than Guts seeking a path of self-discovery. It's pretty messed up. Yet Guts, who has remained calm and stoic, wins their bout and walks off. Sadly, with Guts leaving, Griffith, now paralyzed and at a loss for words from losing his duel and, I would say, his friend, has my spidey sense tingling. The second half of the Golden Age arc will no doubt birth and awaken the Griffith I met at the Black Swordsman arc, and that terrifies me to no end. Anyway, drink plenty of water, wash your hands, shout out to my wonderful editor for making this video the best it can possibly be, and take care, guys.